Hello aspirants, welcome to Detailed Chronicles by Abhiram IAS Academy. So, as a part of this Detailed Chronicles, ninna manam India-Brazil relations chusamu and today we'll be discussing about India-Namibia relations. Clear? So, as part of Global South, Narendra Modi, that is our Prime Minister, is visiting so many of the countries, and last country to visit is Namibia. So, India and Namibia relations, let's discuss it today. So, this article is given in Hindu. So, what he is telling is that continuing his diplomacy focused on the Global South, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited Namibia. So, in this context, let's see the key highlights. Key highlights enti ante, the most important key highlight is Namibia has adopted our UPA system. Namibia has adopted our UPA system, and also they are focusing to strengthen the Global South. So these are the most important highlights. And further, Narendra Modi has been also received the highest Namibian order, civilian honor, that is Order of Most Ancient Welwitschia Mirabilis. Clear? So honors గుర్తుంచుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు UPSC related గా, కాకపోతే groups or SSC if you are writing, ఇది important. So Namibian highest honors, civilian honor ఏంటి అంటే Order of Most Ancient Welwitschia Mirabilis. And further, the next highlight is, he also congratulated Namibia for adopting the UPI system. Further, PM also called for equitable and sustainable development between India and Africa. So, ivi key highlights of the meeting, and also there have been like historical ties enti, Namibia gurinchi enti, how the bilateral trades, the sharing between bilateral trades enti anedi detail ga let us see. So let's know about Namibia first. Namibia ekkada locate ayundi? Namibia is located to the southwestern part of Africa. So southwestern Africa, and further if you see the bordering countries, this is Namibia, and Namibia is bordered by the Namib Desert, further Angola, Botswana, and the Botswana Kalahari Desert untundi, and more. So Namibia is also bordered by the South Africa. Clear? So Namibia is bordered by Angola, Zambia, Botswana, South Africa, and also you can see here Atlantic Ocean. Clear? Idu okkasari gurtupeట్టుకోండి. Again I am repeating, Namibia is bordered by the Atlantic Ocean, South Africa, Botswana, Angola, Zambia. Clear? And the capital వచ్చేసి Windhoek, and ivi neighboring countries. Here, this is a small introduction about the Namibia. Further, now let's see the historical ties, how the relations have been started between India and Namibia. So now, let's talk about India-Namibia partnership. Adi ekkada start ayindi, ela start ayindi anedi clear ga telusukunnamu. So first, India-Namibia relations have been started since the ages of colonial and also post-colonial rules. So before ante colonial rule enti ante, this Namibia was colonized by South Africa. Namibia was colonized by South Africa, and further India helped its part to get its independence. Our journey enti, let's see. So Namibia, which was formerly the Southwest Africa, was a German colony before. Tarvata South Africa తీసుకుంది, అప్పుడు then they were like colonized. Tarvata India also helped to get Namibia for its independence. Further, see, it is a German colony. Before it is a German colony, then came under South African administration under League of Nations mandate. So Namibia is a German colony. Further, then it has been come under the South African administration under the League of Nations mandate. So in South Africa law, during the South Africa rule, South Africa has imposed apartheid policies, that is colonial policies, on Namibia. So what happened? It has led to lack of freedom. So they went for independence struggle. So South Africa has been imposed apartheid policies on Namibia too, leading to resistance, that is lack of freedom, and on eventually they fought for its freedom. And further, like let's see India's anti-colonial solidarity. So India has gained independence in the year 1947, as we know that. So India after gaining its independence in 1947, it helped towards the anti-colonial and anti-apartheid movements, such that it helped the Namibia too. Such that India also helped the Namibia. So India supported Namibian freedom struggle in the way like, so this India supported the Namibian freedom struggle led by SWAPO, that is Southwest Africa's People Organization, Southwest African People's Organization, which was under the Sam Nujoma. And this Sam Nujoma again became the Prime Minister. So after becoming Prime Minister, almost 11 times he has visited India. Almost 11 times he has visited India. And further, our Narendra Modi, after 3 decades, he is visiting Namibia. So the last Prime Minister to visit Namibia was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And after 3 decades, that is after 27 years, Ippudu Malli Narendra Modi has been visited. And further, so India was the first Asian country to support the Namibia's independence. So India was the first Asian country to support the Namibia's independence. So further, India was part of non-alignment movement and Afro-Asian Solidarity Platform, providing diplomatic, moral and material support to the African liberation movement. So idi like how India has been started its support. So first, India gained its independence in 1947, emerged as an active supporter. Further, it has been pushed for anti-colonial and also anti-apartheid movements. Tarvata enti? So India supported the Namibian freedom movement by SWAPO, that is Southwest African People's Organization, SWAPO, which was led by the Sam Nujoma, who became the first Prime Minister after the independence. So India is the first Asian country to support the Namibian freedom, Namibian independence. So further game chesindi ante India actively supported the UN Security Council resolution of 435, which was a framework for the Namibian independence. So India actively supported the UN Security Council resolution 435, which was the framework for the Namibian independence. Tarvata, India provided scholarships and also training to the Namibian students and freedom fighters before its independence. Before Namibian independence, it has been provided scholarships and also training to the Namibian students. And further, Indian diplomats and missions work closely with this Southwestern Africa People Organization in various international forums, such that Namibia has gained independence on March 21st, 1990. Namibia has been gained independence in the month of March 21st, 1990. Clear? So India has been helped to gain the Namibia's independence. So and India was among the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with the newly independent formed Namibia. So ikkadaka clear kada, idi historical background. Now let's see the bilateral relations since the year 1990, that is after gaining the Namibia's independence. So after gaining the Namibia's independence till now, if you see, India opened a high commission in its capital city, that is Windhoek, in March 1990. March lo nega independence ochindi, dani ventane India has opened its high commission in March 1990. And further, Namibia opened high commission in our capital city, that is New Delhi, bilateral ga. Further, if we see the economic and trade relations, bilateral trade dentlo undi mostly ante jewelry lo, pharmaceuticals, India is exporting pharmaceuticals to them, agriculture machinery lo, and also in engineering goods. And further, if we see, Namibia is very much rich in uranium and diamonds. So manaki uranium kawali kada mana nuclear missions ki, so we are importing uranium and diamonds from them. So Namibia is rich in uranium and diamonds. So Indian companies have explored the opportunities in these sectors, such that Namibia is also part of India-Africa Forum Summit, which provides a multilateral platform for economic cooperation. As an example, ONGC, oil company ONGC, Videsh Limited and other Indian public sector companies have shown interest in Namibia's oil exploration and energy sector. See, while writing means you can use these things, examples, such that it gives you more marks. So, India nunchi తీసుకుంటే India is exporting petroleum goods kani, agriculture goods kani, pharmaceuticals kani, and also engineering goods kani to the Namibia. And from Namibia, like it is rich in uranium, we are importing uranium from the Namibia. And further, it is also rich in its oil. So, Namibian oil kuda manam import చేసుకుంటున్నాము. Like for an example, ONGC Videsh Limited and other Indian public sector companies have been started this Namibian oil exploration and also in further energy sector. Clear? Now, if we see, this was given in PIB, like it is telling that in 27 years of this gap, so from, if you see 2014 to 2015, 2023 to 2024, almost in 2014 to 15, it was just 142 million USD. The exports and imports were just 142 million USD. But now it has been increased to 813.85 million USD. You can see the great, they already given, it was increase of more than 470% of increase. So, for 2014 ante, almost BJP government వచ్చిన తర్వాత you can see the increase of 470% అని చెప్పేసి the statistic have been shown. So now let's see the strategic importance. This is two-way strategic importance. Let's see this. So two-way trade, if we see in 2023, there were like $654 million growth. Total 654 million from India. India is exporting almost $418 million, and imports from Namibia, if you take $235 million. The statistics, if you are writing in your answer, it gives more mark. Remember this. And further, AA sectors lo importing and exporting jarutundi ante mineral oil, as we discussed, pharmaceuticals, machineries, agricultural tools, and also cereals, that is agricultural products, etc. And further, India has been invested almost $800 million in its minerals, that is mostly in zinc and diamond processing. Clear? Idi with respect to energy. Imports and exports, foods export చేస్తున్నారు, imports చేస్తున్నారు అని చెప్పేసి. Now if we see the critical minerals and energy, as we already discussed, Namibia is very much rich in uranium. So one thing is we are importing uranium and also oil resources from Namibia. And further, Namibia, if we see, it is the third largest uranium producer. And also rich in lithium, zinc and rare earth metals, which are critical minerals. So they are very much important for our energy, India's energy security and also supply chain. And also recently India has been went for its national mineral critical policy. Further, capacity building, if you see, India is providing training for Namibian people in its ITEC. Like we are providing training in defense, diplomacy, health, even cricket lo kuda India is providing training for Namibian people. So defense, diplomacy, health, and even in cricket. And also recently India have been funded for their university. So India funded an Indian wing at the University of Namibia with almost $12 million. Clear? See, remember the statistics, it will be important for exam. And further, Cheetah diplomacy in andarki telisinde recent ga in 2022 we have been imported cheetahs which were extinct in India. So we have been exported cheetahs from Namibia. So in 2022, the memorandum of understanding has been signed between India and Namibia for translocation of cheetahs, where 8 cheetahs were being translocated. This is the first intercontinental translocation of cheetahs. This is the first intercontinental. From one continent to other continent, we have been exported the cheetahs. And next, let's see the cooperation between India and Namibia in multilateral forums. If you see, you have to remember this. So both the countries work together in UN, NAM, G77 countries and also in Commonwealth. UN Commonwealth, G77 and also UN and non-alignment movement. Clear? So ఈ 4 గుర్తుంచుకోండి. And further, Namibia is supporting India's call for reform of UNSC permanent seat. UNSC permanent seat కోసం నమీబియా ఇండియాకి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది పర్మనెంట్ సీట్ కోసం. And further, recentగా it has been joined in our CDRA, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, and also it has been joined in our UPI. It is adopting our UPI. And further, lastly, it has been also joining in our Global Biofuel Alliance. So మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చూద్దాము. So both countries work together in UN, NAM, Commonwealth and also in G77 countries. And further, Namibia supports India's call for its UNSC permanent seat. And further, Namibia has joined in CDRA, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, which is supporting for the disaster management to Namibia. And further, they have been also joined in the National Biofuel Alliance, which is supporting their biofuels. Clear? So, idi the thing, like bilateral relations kani, cooperation of multilateral forums kani. And also recently, if we see 2022, the Memorandum of Understanding has been signed between India and Namibia for translocation of cheetahs. So, we have learned cooperation of multilateral forums between India and Namibia. We have seen the trade between them, their historical significance, and also we learned about the Namibia. Clear? So, this is the detailed chronicle for today. I hope you understand. And EPPT you can use for your mains also. Mains answer writing ki kuda it will help you. Thank you. Have a good day.